Well, howdy ho, good neighbor. Today we're flying high above the Oakland estuary. That's right, we're starting out in Alameda and we're going to travel right across the estuary to the Point Park, Union Point, I do believe it's called. And this is where a lot of the pirate activity has been going on. That's right, the pirates of Oakland have been thieving right out of this little slip, our dock. Yes, I've been using the wrong terminology on some of these pirate videos, and the comments have been letting me know, and I've been learning a lot. I guess dry dock is when the boat is out of the water. So these boats right here that are illegally not dry docked, they're just docked. Well, you can see that this is where some of the problems that the other boats are having. That these people, well, they are getting away with using the facilities that these people pay for. So, but that's not what I brought you over here to see. I wanted to look at the sunken ships. And believe it or not, the pirates have been sinking boats in the bay, and you're looking at one right there. There is the, I don't want to get this wrong, but the masts. Yeah, that's the boats where the sailboat usually has its sails. Well, it's sunk right there. So this guy's going to go fish, so I'm sure they're, in some weird way, they sunk that boat right there. And I'm sure there's some good fish to be caught right there. But this guy, he's just out to catch fish today. So I'm not here to watch him. I want to go find some more sunken boats. And I gotta quit calling them ships. I got in trouble. These aren't ships. These are boats. Okay. So I always talk like I know what I'm talking about, but as usual, I never do. So a dry dock boat is when the boat's out of the water. Remember that. But here is where the people that are paying for slips are having their property go missing, and sometimes their whole boat. So it's a weird predicament that these people pay for their slips, but yet you have these other people that don't. Well, here's a couple more sunken boats. I would say probably 3 or 4 actually. You see the yellow boat, and there's a couple boats sunk in the water right there. So yeah, the pirates are around here. Don't be fooled. Now I have this zoom function on my drone, and I zoomed in right here to zoom in on that little tent. You see the tent underneath the tree? Well, my zoom button fell off my controller, so I couldn't get it to zoom back out. Finally, I got it to zoom back out, thankfully, and went on my merry way, but I won't zoom in again for a while. But here's one of those just ordinary people that are not getting over on anybody, but I'm sure he has to use the restroom somewhere and get his water somewhere. So, and this person's a little suspicious too, with 2 dinghies. People say that they've been stealing their dinghies. So the dinghy, I believe, is a small boat. Don't quote me on that. But a dinghy, it looks like 2 dinghies. I could just be making stuff up. Maybe it's a visitor. But I tell you what, I know for a fact that the dinghies have been missing, alcohol has been missing, and the top prize of them all, the outboard motors. Those are the one you want. So you can see a lot of people need to bring their boats and lock them up tight with their motors inside, or they will get stolen. So I made my way back to this side of the island, and if you bear with me here, I've been having these loud planes fly right over my house. So I do not have a recording studio, it's not professional. But I couldn't get enough of that sunken ship right there in the water. Oh, excuse me, the sunken boat. And this man, well, he's locked up tight. But I started this boat with that little dinghy away from his boat. And now you can see the man is crouched down on the back of the boat. So if you look real close right here, you'll see that dark color. That's a man on the back of his boat, and his dinghy's full of water. See all the water in his dinghy? So right now he's bailing out his dinghy. Yeah. So I didn't want to see him in misery, but here he goes. He's going to ding out. He's got to get all the water out of his boat, one bucket at a time. So it's not easy living on a boat. And right about here I saw a bird get real close to my drone, so it was time for me to get on out of here. Those birds don't like drones, and they will take one out of the sky, so it wasn't time to lose one today. But before I flew back, I wanted to show you all the progress happening over here in Alameda. They have this new housing development right next to Coast Guard Island, and looks like the streets are being built for more. They've just built a whole bunch of new buildings out here that haven't even been finished yet, and who knew there have a new neighborhood going in out here. Well, there's the beautiful city of Oakland and the Coast Guard Island with all our beautiful service members. And to the left, well, you got a new neighborhood in Alameda. But you can see there's a lot of boats for those pirates to take a gander at night and see what they can get. I tell you what, when we go to work, they go to work. Or should I say, when we go to sleep, they go to work. Well, everybody needs money, and everybody needs to get by in life. Some people make an honest living, and, well, the pirates, believe it or not, they've been pirating a long time. I think that could be one of the oldest professions. We all know what the oldest profession is, don't we? Well, pirates got to be right up there with one of the oldest professions. Well, as always, I always like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Where Do the Pirates Live and Where Do They Sink Their Boats? They're not ships, and they're not dry docked. Well, you know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody.